Right then guys, rounds 5 and 6 of the World Rallycross Championship. We're here in Belgium, Mettet to be exact, and we're joined by Championship leader Johan Kristoffersson. Johan won it in 2017. In 2018 we won't talk about it because Petter stuck you in the wall. Actually we will talk about it because actually it was here where that started to go wrong because it was wet. Explain that situation.
Yeah, so when it dries out here in Mettet, when it's been a rain shower, which is quite common here, the first line to dry out, because of the steep angle of the starting grid, is slot number 5, and the last one is this one. And I was parked here, and Petter was parked in slot number 3. And
you can say you were on pole. You can go.
I was on pole, yeah.
I was on pole.
And Petter was on P3, and Sebastian Loeb was, I believe, on slot 2. So here was a bit drier. There was very good grip, and we got to the first corner, and Petter got up between me and Sebastian, and then the wall was a little bit different in T1, so of course everyone from the outside wants also to go to the right, and then me and Petter was there on the inside, and eventually I was fully on the inside, and I used only half of the width of the track because half of my car was basically on the wall. So but yeah, so this was the one. This was the race 2018 that slipped away.
So that is actually something for us to bear in mind, that if it is wet this weekend, obviously because the circuit exaggerated like that, down here is pole. That's where all the water will accumulate. So maybe you're for once better off not sticking it on pole.
And the sun is from here, so it's definitely drying quicker there.
Perfect. Should we go for a wander?
Yes.
Right, Johan, we've had a look off the line down the run into turn 1. It's actually quite wide on the way in, and then it nips down onto the gravel. I reckon there's going to be a fair bit of action through here, particularly if you're on the outside. Maybe a few cars going to end up in the boonies.
Yeah, that's usually here in Mettet. It's always quite a lot of carnage in T1. Fortunately enough, it's quite low speed, so the cars used to survive it and they can continue driving. But it's very difficult to start from the outside here in Mettet, as this corner is very, very tight. It actually looks like the first corner now, the apex barrier, the inside barrier, looks to be moved a little bit more, so the corner is has a little bit more flow and open. So maybe a little bit less carnage this year, but yeah, sometimes you never get surprised.
And then straight off that onto the gravel. And there's a lot of gravel gone down here, but the first thing you notice is this big jump, and you're heading straight away into the right-hander. Talk us through that. Didn't you bend a car here as well?
Yeah, I did 17. So the thing with this jump is that you land on gravel, and basically everyone lands on the same place, more or less. And then it digs out a big hole, and then eventually if you go for a big sand, you land not in the hole, you land just on the way up from the hole. And that's where I bent my car 17 on the free practice on Friday. So, but yeah, this section is quite technical actually. It doesn't look much, but it is like T1, quite fast approaching, and then you rejoin the track here. And then here you can basically choose how far you want to jump, so you can bring more speed over the jump, but you also have to prepare for the next corner. And this is quite downhill as well. You have to get the car set up not to be too wide in turn 2, because then you cannot get the chicane afterwards. So, and as the track develops, sometimes you can use the ruts of the gravel to bring more speed. But also if you hit a bump wrong then yeah, of course you will end up and lose a lot of time. So it is a quite technical and tricky section.
Talk to me about curbs, because the one thing I have noticed here is, certainly compared to Holly or something, you're just going to hammer these. They don't really exist. You won't even see that. But that one over there, that's a newer curb, isn't it? The one with on the apex on the white of the white curb there.
So last year there was, when we were here with the RX3 cars, we only had the inside curb, the big one.
Yeah.
Even on the left-hand side. So this is new. This curb is new. This was actually something that it looked like 18 when I was here previously to last year. And also the next on the left-hand side. The left-hand side there is where Timmy broke the car in the final last year, but that's not the same curb as it is now, so that's different. So that's going to be fine to a hammer. These curbs are a bit more sharp. Of course, you know, we always try, when the track is like it is now, when it's fresh, there's no problem to drive over this. But when you dig away all of this gravel and you get a quite hard impact,
yeah.
Especially, the only thing is that you can do is you try to unload the inside wheel when you hit it.
Yeah.
But eventually you will get a puncture. But you gain time, so it's always a risk reward.
Compromise.
Yeah.
So Johan, you come off the hairpin at the bottom, and then there's this sort of long straight. First thing I'm going to ask you, is there a passing opportunity here, or is it just too tight where the chicane exits?
Timmy did a pass here, 18 in the final. So you can pass here. I think he stuck it up the inside of Janin Grasin, or Grasin Janin, or whatever his name is.
Him?
Yes.
Yeah.
He got a better exit out of the hairpin and was on the inside. So you can pass here. It is a very brave place to pass, and we have seen some massive accidents here in the past.
There has been quite a lot of action. What causes it though? Because obviously there's not a great deal of runoff, and the circuit just drops away as well, doesn't it? So what actually instigates those offs that we've seen in the past?
I think the thing is that you like to carry as much speed as possible going into the corner. You leave the braking a little bit too late, you try to turn in, and you hit that massive curb, but you hit it with the loaded car.
Yeah.
And when you hit that curb with the loaded car, either your damper is coming through the top mount, like Liam or Alex Danielson did, or you try to save the car and it gets to a massive roll. So Christian over-rotated, ended up rolling here. Kevin, hit the bump and rolled. And Timmy on lap 2 or 3 in the semi-final 18 also had a massive moment here, but managed to save it.
Plenty of action expected here, and we'll keep an eye for that. Let's go have a look at the Joker. Right then, well, we're here at the Joker entry, but before we get to that, you look at the exit of turn 8, it's a long way away. You're going to be carrying a huge amount of speed up here into the, well, either the Joker entry or the standard lap.
Yeah, it is. I mean, if you get turn 8 correctly, you will do 9 flat, which means there is some, quite long acceleration here. I'd say 150 meters maybe before you have to brake. And this section used to be quite tricky because it used to be quite dusty there. And you have to stick through the dust because you know you get to the tarmac. So you see for a short moment or second, you see something where to head. And then you have to then choose Joker lap or standard lap. And it is a quite fast entry. And the thing is that if you are following a car and you want to go to the Joker lap, you have to open up and go a little bit wider. And when they water the track here, they used to water more on the outside. So this section, when you move offline a little bit, gets super snippy.
Yeah.
And so 2017 in the Joker lap, when I joker behind Timmy, I almost ended up on the parking lot outside of the track because I was so wide. So it is a tricky entry going into the Joker and the last corner.
Let's walk the Joker, shall we? Because relatively slow Joker here, late 2 seconds, 3 seconds, whatever. So getting it right, as it is on any rallycross circuit, but getting it right because it's such a slow Joker is absolutely imperative. And as you said, the grip levels are changing here. And just off camera, I asked you, does this place rut up a lot? And you said this particular gravel, obviously, is evolving a great deal.
Yeah, it is. And also, it is quite tricky. I mean, you can gain a lot of time going into this Joker because you have the gravel, and basically when you only drive it a couple of times during a day, this evolves much slower than the rest of the track.
Yeah.
So you have to anticipate how the grip level is in here, and if you get your braking right, going in with a good amount of rotation, perfect angle going into this, you can gain a lot of time. And also, you bring more speed across the start-finish line or the finish line than you do from the other lap. So you gain a little bit of time with taking Joker before the others.
Because you're carrying that more speed, potential maybe for, because we can see on the standard lap, the cars are going to run all the way to the outside. When we come off the Joker here, you're carrying all that speed, potential for stuffing it up the inside, maybe just crossing over.
Yeah, we've seen that in the past as well, that there used to be some overtakings going into T1 when there is a Joker merge. Also some drag race from the last 2 corners going over the finish line. We've been quite a lot, and you do gain, especially in the beginning of the straight, you gain some momentum of accelerating from here. So yeah, it is, but you also have to use, it's really important to use all of the road on the exit here to get as much speed as possible going out in the Joker. And
presumably as well, as we've seen all year, it can often get a little bit fruity between the Joker merge on the standard lap, and then obviously the cars merging from the Joker.
Yeah, and also first corner from here, we also see Timmy did a very good overtaking on Petter here, and Petter rejoined the track and had a collision with Bakkerud that came from the standard lap. So that basically handed me the win in 17. So it is a lot of things happening. It is a quite technical and quite narrow track with some high speed going into technical sections. So used to happen a lot of things.
It's a busy lap, isn't it? Come on, let's wander down to the finish line. It's a fair old walk, isn't it? Thanks for that.
Thank you.
Good luck this weekend.
Thank you very much. You too.
Let someone else have a go.
I'll try.